Hey everybody, Josh here. I wanted to do some content teardowns, and one of the great places to start I thought would be ClickUp. ClickUp is a company I used to work for. I was the main content strategist there during 2018 and most of 2019, or a lot of 2019. And I wanted to show a post that I wrote, and you can see that ClickUp has had a lot of success since I've left. I don't know if the two are related, but it's true. Raised more than 100 million in their Series B, now a billion-dollar company. And so, because I work there, and also because they've gained a lot of attention recently, I thought it'd be great to dive into one of the posts I wrote. And on these teardowns, I won't just be doing my own post. I'm going to be looking at some other companies as well, but I thought this was a great place to start. So what I want to do is kind of analyze and rebuild why I thought this was a great piece and why it's been really successful for ClickUp. So I'm going to look at three key things. It's just the initial research and kind of decision making and making a piece like this. Number two, to think about the place in the funnel is really important for this post. And then lastly, we're going to look at the structure of the page, the on-page SEO, and maybe some of the things and how it's put together in the writing that makes it really different. So I'm going to be using a few tools as well, like Ahrefs, Keywords Everywhere, and Phrase, which is a new tool that I've started looking at a bit to give us some more insights. So let's get going. So first off, you can see at the title we have 18 best free and simple project management software. The head term here, or the main focus word that we were looking for and wanted to focus on, was free project management software. And in my keyword research, I found out that this post had a lot of volume, and I thought we would be well positioned to rank high for it, because ClickUp is a freemium tool, meaning that they have a free plan, and actually a free forever plan for project management software with a lot of features, and then they have some other tiered options after that. So because of its many features and its options, I thought free project management software would be a great word to go after. It fits that use case very well and very specifically. And I can't remember all of the competition at the time, but Zapier, Capterra, those are some big brands with very high domain authority. Zapier can basically rank for whatever it wants at this point. And also ClickUp integrates really well with Zapier. So it's good to see that they have a post up here. I'm sure a lot of their companies that they integrate with are included in that post. Capterra down here is a review site. And so they're going to be interested, a software review site, so they're going to be interested in writing about project management software and the different options that somebody might have, and they do reviews and ratings and things like that. And then comes ClickUp ahead of other big names like HubSpot, and then Freecamp, G2. These were other big ones. In Task Manager, we've competed against for sure a lot when I was at ClickUp. And actually, this post was number one for quite a while, and with the core update in December 2020, that's when I'm recording this, it did fall back a bit, but also the post is pretty old, which is something I'm sure the team has looked at, and they'll probably do a whole brand refresh and things as well as they update their product and their marketing. But we can just learn a lot from this post just by looking at it and looking at Keywords Everywhere data here. So first, you can see the head term, free project management software, and Keywords Everywhere brings up these numbers. More than 14,000 searches per month, which is a pretty high volume keyword. The other thing that makes this word particularly valuable is not only its high volume, which is something to look at, but also its cost per click, which is $23.51. On my particular result right now, and I have visited this search term several times, and even in the past few times in the past hour or so, I'm not getting any ads, but if there was an ad, there would be charging $23 just to click on a link. That doesn't even include, if that lead converts or if it goes through their funnel or whatever, but just $23 to click on it, which is a pretty amazing amount. So if you take these two factors combined, that it's over 14,000 searches per month and this high cost per click number, this is a very valuable keyword. You're getting a lot of volume, and then you're getting people who are highly motivated to buy, hopefully. And we'll get to that in a second, more in the place in the funnel. So anyway, that's kind of the landscape that we're looking at here. So another thing to think about is like, yes, this is a good keyword that we want to pursue. If you're ClickUp, if you're Freedcamp, or maybe one of these other project management software companies, or even if you're one like ActiveTime or Zapier who is in that productivity space, you may want to write about this. And so next, let's look at some of the domain authority and other surrounding things that makes ClickUp a good candidate to rank for this word. So I'm going to pull up Ahrefs. And you can see now in late 2020 that for this word, and I put it in Ahrefs to analyze in its Site Explorer, you can see that ClickUp has a very high domain rating, or in other words, domain authority. With a lot of backlinks coming to this page, a lot of referring domains, and this is all the keywords that this page ranks for. And so when I was writing this post, the domain authority wasn't that high, but I knew because of all of our other pages and just the site and the focus of the product, that this was a keyword that we had to go after, and we had a pretty good chance to rank for. I think we're around like 50 or so when I was writing for ClickUp. And so obviously they've grown quite a bit and are doing well, and this page has helped do that. So because it has a high domain authority, I think it's a good candidate to rank for this word. And just for comparison's sake, if we type in like HubSpot, which was number 1, oh, I'm sorry, Zapier was number 1, right? It's going to be like 85 probably, something like that. 87 URL rank, and then a 90 under domain rating. So Zapier has tons of backlinks, can rank for basically any word, 1 million keywords. So any word that they want to rank for, basically they can rank for very highly. So let's go back over though to ClickUp. Actually, I should just retype it in, I guess. What's great about Ahrefs as a tool is it shows you not only backlinks, domains, but organic keywords, and this is its estimated organic traffic. So it's estimating right now that this post is getting 5,000 visits per month, and that's down from, that's almost 2,000 visits down. So you know that this post has fallen a little bit. I'm sure the team is looking at that right now. We can also see it in this graph. If we go over to organic search, we can see that it's kind of fallen off a little bit here. I wrote the post probably in late, yeah, it said 2 years ago, so I'm sure it was like December, maybe even before that, because you can see how far back it goes. And I think I updated it around that time, and then it really took off in early 2019. And this graph is really skewed because this was actually not bad traffic for us back then, and then it just kept getting higher and higher, and then went nuclear basically. But you can see it was getting 15, 18, 19, 20,000 visits all time, and then it's fallen off here a little bit. And then you can also see the number of keywords that it keeps going and going for, and then it kind of peaked up here back earlier in January 2020, and then it's tailed off quite a bit as well, but still producing a lot. And so then if we go look at the keywords, you can see here the power of just how much one page can kind of have this collection, or I guess topic cluster is one way to look at it, but it's not really that. It's just all these secondary keywords that it can pick up, because Google doesn't pick up every, I mean, it does. Let me start over with that. people search in Google for a lot of different weird phrases and stuff, and obviously free project management software is a great one, and so a lot of people are searching for that. But there's all these longer tail keywords that people are also searching for that you don't necessarily have to create one post for. And then you kind of round up all of these secondary keywords underneath the main one, which would be like a parent category, a topic cluster, that type of idea. But a lot of keywords are coming to this page. People are not just searching for this exact term, they're searching for all these variations, and it's all coming back here. So you can see like project management tools free, best free project management software, simple project management software was one I had mentioned earlier. And so yeah, ClickUp could drill down for each of these, but I think all of them are kind of interrelated, that they wouldn't necessarily have to do that. So that's one thing to think about as you're kind of building up your content strategy as well, is what are some of the secondary keywords along with my focus word that I can really focus on and concentrate on. But you can see here, for the biggest word, that is at ranking at number 3, number 2 for this one, 3,700 volume word. It's fallen down a bit. Best free project management software, it's fallen down. So I was able to put in free, best, and simple into that header. And that was able to gain some traction really fast and give us a good foothold around this whole word. So thousands of keywords, so really good post. And let me just be clear too, not every industry is going to have this type of word with this high of volume. It really depends on what industry and where you're at. But what I really like about this piece is, again, its place in the funnel, moving into that direction, is it's this mid-funnel piece, which is usually like, hey, I am solution aware. I would really like some project management software, and I would like it free, but I don't necessarily know the product, or I want to compare products. So it's not doing like a ClickUp versus Asana or ClickUp versus Trello. It's just this more generic thing that's like free project management software. But with that word, we also know there's some intent there. So it's this mid-funnel, I am solution aware, and I'm kind of interested in buying, but not spending a lot because I'm going to do free project management software. And that kind of just fits into ClickUp's wheelhouse, and so that's why this word worked really well for them. All right, one of the other things I wanted to look at here is this thing called Phrase, which is a newer like research tool where you can kind of compare what the SERPs are saying and then see what from the SERPs that you should be including in your own post. And so I created a document. It's not opening up for me right now. Maybe this one has it. So what I did is I imported it over, and I haven't used this tool a ton. I have used a similar tool called Market Muse that also does some analysis, and they use some different algorithms and formulas. But basically what this is doing is comparing your content to what the other content in the SERPs is showing. And so you can see here they outlined Zapier free project management software in 2020. They outlined exactly the type of things that is in that post, and I haven't actually done a comparison here, but they're suggesting like, hey, this is what you need to include in the post. And then if I go over here to topics, now you can also see they're comparing you, meaning this post, with the average in the SERP, and this post did well because look, it's ranking much higher than an average keyword. They have more headers than the average. They have more links than the average. Doesn't have a lot of images, but that's not necessarily true. It could just be a way that they formatted it. You can see in the post that it does have image, and these tools don't know everything in that regard. I'd have to look at the alt tags and things like that to see how it's formatted. But Phrase also gives this the ClickUp blog post on free project management software. It gives it a 100% topic score, meaning that it's all comprehensive. And that's a really good point when you're thinking about how am I getting my post to rank as well, as you need to make a comprehensive post that's all encompassing, Not necessarily because you're trying to create a topic cluster, though you might, or a pillar page, though you might, but on this particular keyword, it considers it all encompassing. So really we can't go anywhere from here because they're kind of setting the score, and this post has been here for a really long time. So it's what the ClickUp post has is really influencing all of this information. But you can see like this post scores well in project management. You referenced project management 41 times. Let me see if I can keep that bubble up. The competition referenced it an average of 23 times. It says the article is too short, which I thought earlier it said it was a good link, but they might suggest that it be even longer to beat Zapier, for instance. It's mentioned project management software several times. That's good. Agile, time tracking. So this tool is giving all of the topics that you could mention, and ClearScope and MarketMuse or other similar tools that you could use too. But it gives you an overview of what needs to be in there and how you address it. And this isn't set in stone. This isn't like perfect that if you include all these things you're going to rank high, but it does give you a good overview of what's happening. And in this tool they also have questions and related. So overall, Phrase thinks this is a really good post, that it's comprehensive and covers all the topics. Obviously, maybe not obviously, but I created this post from scratch using just research. I did use some MarketMuse and some keyword research to help write it, but still I had to write it. I didn't spin it. I actually wrote it myself, and I also used some other sources in it that I haven't really seen a lot of other people do. And so that's what I wanted to talk about now, is just the structure of the page and the structure of the post itself. So I'm going to be looking at this more from a content perspective and not necessarily directly an SEO perspective, even though I really firmly believe that content does influence SEO. So the first thing again is the header. The keyword is in the header, free project management software. And then I ended up putting simple and best because those were also part of the focus keywords that we wanted to go after. I don't remember how I settled on 18. I think it has fluctuated from 17 to 18 to 19, and the team may have made some edits there. But we were trying to go a little bit higher than some of the other ones. You saw in the results earlier that I think InTask did like a 54, 57. Yeah, you see it down here. 57 best free project management software. And so that might be a little too much because she wants to look at 57 options. You kind of want a good selection. So 18 may be a sweet spot. It could be even lower than that. You saw the Zapier one and did 10 or 7. Capterra did 10. ClickUp said 18, and HubSpot did 12. So that's not always a surefire way to do it, but you do need to have a reasonable number here. You can see the graphic, which gives it distinctive branding. It's not just stock photo, which actually wasn't something I was necessarily convinced about. What was what the ClickUp team really wanted to do, and I don't think it necessarily hurts that we have some distinctive images here compared to just like a stock image. Okay, now you kind of see the intro here. Not super long, but just talks about, how can you improve your productivity for free? What can you do? Let's look at the top free project management software. So that's like a good, and I can tell that's my phrasing because I say this all the time. Let's take a look, or let's look. And so it's just like a quick intro, but sets the scene for it. But then the post has like this intro kind of conclusion transition statement to get us going down here. And so number one was ClickUp. Has our screenshot. It helps the reader see like, hey, this is generally what it looks like. This would definitely be updated by now. And they have this illustration instead of the screenshot. But what I wanted to show was how we structured it. Is we had the tool and we went more in depth than just a basic paragraph. It's also like, this is what you get. And so then we have these bullet points with a lot of links, maybe a few too many links about what ClickUp can do, not just a paragraph. So the value and benefits of the features are not hidden within the paragraph. It's very clear in these bulleted ways, and look, you can explore all of them right away. I think this really helps with the engagement, especially when we're talking about our own product, because then we can just click out and see what the other pages look like. Some content marketers might not necessarily like that because then you're sending traffic away. But to me, I was like, hey, what if this is like the tab that somebody keeps open and they just reference it back and forth, because they're going to be looking at all these things. Then they're going to go to the next products and look at those. So I really wanted this to be almost like a real world guide for trying out different types of project management software. And they've worked on this and linked in this throughout the past years, and they've definitely included more reviews here. But this is also what I wanted to say is this reviews feature, I think, has really helped this post a lot, because we're taking reviews from other neutral sites and we're saying like, hey, here's what the pros are saying about it. Here's what other users are saying about it, with the links. And I tried to deep link. It looks like they did as well in some of the updates. And then we have a call to action just for ClickUp. It might be a little too much here, but if it's not hurting your rankings, and as ClickUp has gotten more domain authority, it's easier to put things in here. So ClickUp number one, obviously, right? But how do we keep going? From here on out, we shortened the length because these are competitors. We're trying to create a good ranking site, but also be aware of our competitors without, slamming them or putting them down. We want to be respectful, of course. And so we have a screenshot, and then we have a short description. A lot of times I just pulled this from their about page or other reviews. I did the same format with the bullet points, things like that. Just pulled this straight from like their pricing page and things. But notice I didn't put, or this page doesn't include more links to it, to outside. I'm going to just give very few links to get over to Meister Task, for instance. I think it was in this post, it may have been in a different one. We had links to all of these, and then eventually we were like, hey, let's just pull these out or put another link somewhere else. And so we kind of went back and forth with that, and you could play with it if you're trying to run the same strategy again. But again, we used a quote, and this time we did not necessarily use the best part of the quote. And if that's positioning, it's competitors. And you see here that, but we did link to it, and sometimes we did say good things, and we did include good things with the negative parts of the review, but we did pull it exactly from where it was coming from. So then again, people get an impression and an idea of what these other tools are and what they can do. Also, one other point here, that if you were going to run this play as far as a comparison post goes, or an alternatives post, or this kind of list post, is I put, again, this is some trial and error, but notice the main competitors are towards the bottom. These are going to be the ones that most people think about, but they're also bigger competitors to ClickUp. So Trello is definitely a big competitor. Meister Task, not so much. Teamweek, not so much. These weren't as big of players. So we didn't necessarily, we want to include Trello because it's important and people know it, and they're probably going to be looking at it. So we didn't want to like ignore the fact that Trello exists, but we also put it a little bit lower. We did the same thing with Asana. It's probably, I don't even know where it is down here. Teamwork Projects is another huge competitor. There's Asana finally. And we have a link there to Asana, and I'm not exactly sure why, but there. Oh wait, do we link? Yes, this is great. This is what I thought would happen here. Is we did link to Asana here, and maybe we linked to Trello earlier, but you'll notice it actually goes to an Asana alternative page. Let me see if it links it. So this is an internal page that we had built about if you're comparing ClickUp to Asana. And so we went really deep on these comparison pages, and then drove traffic through things like the free project management software page down to this comparison page. And so this is a great keyword research hack that you could also try if you want, as far as outlining how you stack up to your competitors. And a lot more people are doing that these days. And ClickUp did a great job with it. Have some problems with the loading here, but I just want to be clear that I did not necessarily come up with like all these alternative pages and things. I had done that at another company as well, but ClickUp was already really invested on having these alternative pages all the way lined out. They took it to another level, so that was a really great idea from that team, and I tried to build on top of that with this free project management software. So just to kind of recap, you can see that this post had really good keyword volume, had a great place in the funnel with its mid-tier, and then the structure of the page. We really thought about the headers, were really comprehensive, included those quotes, which a lot of the other pages don't do. And then we had this deep linking back out to our own internal pages, like the top rated Sun alternative, for instance. So those are some things that this post, I think, does really well. We had these bullet points, things like that. Here's what you get. And did it work? I mean, I would say generally, yeah. We had a lot of good traffic to this post, a lot of good trials. Freemium didn't hurt. Again, positioning us as free works really well with worked really well for ClickUp, and has this freemium model that you can kind of build up from there. And of course, now they're like $1 billion company. So they definitely found some success using the freemium model. I'm just, of course, focusing on the content marketing here. So, yeah, I mean, I don't really have too much more to add about this post on free project management software. If you have another question, feel free to leave me a comment or email me directly. But I hope to do a few more of these. Thanks again for watching. Bye.